will answer 95% of the questions that you have. The Bible is the will of God. The Bible is the Word of God. You want to know what God's saying? It's the Bible. You're not going to hear an audible voice. You're going to have to read it from in here. Alright? The Bible has one divine author, and that's God. Are like, man, if I don't get my daily dose of the Bible, I can't go on. I don't know what to do. Nobody does that. And that's what he's saying right here. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we become deaf to the Word of God. Alright, and here's another illustration. It's kind of fun that I heard at the camp. And it's kind of like not giving your all. We're not, we think we're living the Christian life, right, but we're not. Alright, so there's this pig and this chicken. Alright, they're walking down the road. Alright, yeah, I know, a pig and a chicken. They're best friends, though. They're best friends. They come up to this church, alright? They're coming up to this church, alright? They're not in a car, they're walking because they can't drive. And they see this sign that says, 4th annual Labor Day, Georgia, blah, 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 best whatever. Barbecue, alright? They see barbecue. This church is having a big cookout, alright? Barbecue cookout. So the chicken's like, hey, let's go. The pig's like, man, I don't know. I don't know about this. It's a barbecue. And chicken's like, look, we can go, we don't have anything to bring, but like, look, we'll just go, I'll lay a couple eggs, that'll be my contribution, we'll go. He's like, and the pig's like, well, look, all you have to do is lay eggs, but I gotta sacrifice myself. I gotta kill to give pork up for this barbecue. So that the chicken was like, hey, all I gotta do is lay eggs, but it's gonna have to take the pig's life. He's gonna have to get his life to contribute to this cookout. And so that's kind of like us. Sometimes we're always like, Lord, I give you my all. I give you everything. But then we still hold back to sin. Yes, to relationships we know we're not supposed to be in. Or going and hanging out with friends that are fun, but we know that we're not supposed to be hanging out with. All right? So there's some things. You can be thinking about that. Just stuff that you're not totally giving to God and holding you back. Is it possible in our culture to go to church Sunday after Sunday, Wednesday after Wednesday, to go to all these youth activities, to go to the winter retreats and to the summer camps and everything, and still turn a deaf ear to the Word of God? All right, and I believe that it can, in youth group and everything. All right, so what makes us deaf to the Word of God? All right, what? Lies, yes. Lies could be something. That's sin. Sin puts a barrier. Sin puts a barrier, alright, where you can't hear the Word of God. But look, it can be busyness, alright? And sometimes the devil will get you to do good things, alright? Like, I know there was a certain time in my life where I was going to this church and doing this, and this church and doing this, and this church and doing this. But then, it's just like I had no time to be with my family. I had no time to really study for school or my grades slipped. Alright? And what happened was, I'm doing a good thing. I'm doing a really good thing by going to all these different places and speaking and doing whatever. But it was just like I was too busy. Satan got me so busy to where I couldn't hear God say, hey, slow down. You're doing all these great things, but you're not growing yourself. You're not taking time and studying yourself and learning about things that you need. So busyness can be something that can make us deaf. Anybody heard about the story of Josiah? Okay. So this is something new for you. Alright. So in 2 Chronicles 34 and 35, Israel's another one of their ruts again. Alright. They're like, hey, yeah, we're doing our religion thing. But again, they're far from God. Their hearts are far from God. Alright? And so, Josiah became the king of Israel. How old was Josiah when he became king of Israel? 8 years old. 8 years old, alright? So if you're sitting here tonight and like, oh, I'm just a middle school student, I can't do anything. This guy right here, Josiah, at the age of 8, became the king of Israel, alright? And it was Josiah. Listen up. This is really important. Josiah was 8 years old, alright? And it says, like, in his 9th year, because he was about 16, he started noticing how Israel was living. and how they were supposed to live. He started reading the Bible and getting into the Bible, into the Word of God, into the books of the law. We're going to be talking about the books of the law. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. All right, 5 books of the law. All right, the first 5 books of the Bible. He started reading that. And he's like, look, he realized we're not living like we're supposed to. There's this covenant made with Abraham that we're just not abiding by. I mean, Israel was swept, all of it. All of it, all right? It was a huge revival. So this is a middle schooler turning Israel back to God. All right, leading the nation of Israel back to God. A middle schooler, okay? Or a teenager. And see, and that's the thing. A bunch of adults are like, oh, they're just young. They don't know much. Blah 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 blah. But we think about things like adults can't. We still have the simple mind that we're like, we just go back to the basics and think about things. And that's sometimes what needs to happen with somebody. Anybody ever heard the expression "faith like a child"? Really, a teenager to turn back Israel to God. All right. And my next story, the next illustration, next example, is Nehemiah. All right? Nehemiah chapter 8. Nehemiah is in front of, there's Esther, Job, Psalms. Okay, it's right in front of Psalms. So go to Psalms and turn left. Nehemiah is a couple books down. All right?
Or just look in the table of contents.
All right. So... Everybody there? Who's going to be there? Okay. Alright, so here we go. This is another example of God's people coming back to His Word. Alright, just like Josiah did. Alright? We're going to start with verse 2. It says, so on the first day of the 7th month, Ezra the priest brought the law before the assembly, which was made up of men and women and all who were able to understand. Alright? So they brought back the book of the law, the first 5 books of the Bible. Okay? He read it aloud from daybreak till noon as he faced the square before the water gate in the presence of men, women, and others who could understand. And all the people listened attentively to the book of the law. Alright? So Ezra brings this thing out, and from daybreak to noon, he reads the Bible straight through. No breaks, no jokes, no music. It's not like, oh, here, go have a bathroom break. Alright? Constant. Alright? And see, that's just something that is just like, wow, we can't sit still for an hour without talking to the person next to us. We can't, oh, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I really don't. I'm just gonna go get some water, alright? We just can't sit still, alright? And we're always like, well, I got ADD, or I got ADHD. No, see, that wasn't back then, okay? They didn't know about this ADD or ADHD, alright? Alright, so, they sat from daybreak to noon, alright? You can say about 6 hours they sat there and did nothing, alright? All they did is they listened attentively. They didn't sit there and be like, hey man, what you want to do after this? You want to go to the lake? Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. They didn't do anything. They didn't talk to the person next to them. They listened attentively to the book of the law, alright? And that's what I want you to see. Is back then, they could sit and not be distracted. And today, it's totally different. And we need to realize that we can and we will sit and listen attentively.